Welcome back to the Oddity Shop, our little oddballs, the podcast where we tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre stories from around the world. I'm your curator, David, sitting here with the other lovely curator, Satan.
Hello.
Why do we have weird names today?
Because it's October 16th and hello, we want to dress up as much as we possibly can.
True. So Kara told me an hour before we started recording that we're wearing costumes for our not very visual podcast.
But hey, it's still fun for us.
So I pulled together, and I'm making the same pun you already heard, a shitty little costume. We're doing a little David Rose action. She's got her Party City Satan going. So, yeah, what's new with you, Satan?
Well, Satan was in the hospital. That's about all I've got. Yeah, I had a wonderful ER visit because I was in excruciating pain, collapsed at work. Everything went numb and had to go to the emergency room.
I feel like you've just hit the age where your body just hates you. This year, you've had some fun.
Yeah, it's really great. So basically, I have cysts and masses and nodules and weird things on my ovaries. And so now it's just a collection of doctor appointments after that. So that's really what I've been doing over here.
Listen, my offer still stands. I will get over my fear. And if I need to get up there and get them myself, if those doctors don't take care of them, you just let me know. That is so disgusting. Okay, not you. The thought of me. Yeah, moving on.
You did not have to elaborate. We all got it.
Did I tell you on here about my new tarot deck yet? I think I did, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you said you were going to maybe do readings.
So it's like the one that has the dual tarot cards in there. In case anybody didn't hear this one, it's 2 decks. They're 2 full tarot decks with the regular 78 cards, except they have 79 cards. But they're like tarot of light and shadow. So one's supposed to be more like external factors. One's more internal. I've been playing around with it. And I really have started now to like shuffling it together when I didn't at the beginning and like getting a little different mix of it. I am like obsessed with this one.
Why didn't you like it in the beginning?
I think it was just overwhelming to like have almost 200 cards and like couldn't shuffle them or whatnot. But I'm starting to get a feel for it. And it might take the place as like my top deck.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's what's new and exciting over here. Other than that,
well, tomorrow, as in the real tomorrow, not October 17th. Tomorrow, we're going to Eloise.
Woohoo! Yeah, tomorrow for us is September 25th, and we're going for a little media night. We got invited to go hang out, but they're gonna have like live music and local food and like drinks and stuff. I'm really excited. I think,
and we get to dress up for that.
Yes, which we have. For like 2 weeks ago saying we don't know what we're doing for Halloween, we have a lot of costume changes over the next few weeks.
We have way too much.
It's insane.
So I don't really like to be a costume repeater. However, I wore this costume in was that 22 or 3?
I don't recall your life.
Well, yeah, because it was a Halloween party here. Was that 22?
Yeah, it must have been.
Okay, so I haven't worn it in a minute and I don't feel like I got good pictures and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to be Tatum Riley from the original Scream, the garage door girl. And then I'm just making Zachary be Ghostface.
That works.
Even though he can't really wear a mask there, right? They don't let you.
No, but I can keep it in my pocket, which is kind of good for the fact of you're hiding it.
I love it. Yeah, so I just have a white t-shirt all bloodied up for him. And then
perfect.
I got to run to Spirit Halloween in the morning because I cannot find that knife.
That's all right.
And you need a knife.
I do need a knife. It really will pull it together. I also found in case it gets cold in there, an oversized kind of orangish sweater, almost the same color that Matthew Lillard wears. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll bring that.
So do you think it's going to be cold?
I don't know. It chilled off here today a lot.
Because I'm wearing a skirt. So I'm like, should I wear tights? Otherwise, I might just bring leggings and a hoodie and change
there you go.
Halfway through.
Yeah, I would say throw the tights on. There's no way you're going to be too warm once the sun goes down.
Do you want to know what's wild? When we go to the garden party, which is October 4th, it's going to be almost 80 degrees. And I'm wearing an all black long sleeve, pretty much turtleneck dress. I am going to sweat my booty off.
Yeah, I hope it cool. Well, we have a couple weeks. It could cool off between now and then. We don't know.
I don't think so.
None of the weather has been right anyway. Okay, yeah, let's get the shop open.
It's Michigan.
Do you have a question for me?
What's scarier, a haunted house or a possessed person? And explain.
I'm going to go with the possessed person because a haunted house, if it's creepy enough, and we're talking paranormally haunted house, not an attraction, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
I feel like you can easily get away from that, like if it becomes too overwhelming. But
well, yeah, you could just leave the house.
Right. But the possessed person can leave the house and follow you. So I don't know.
I think a possessed person is more terrifying.
Plus, I feel like we've been in haunted places that doesn't necessarily mean evil, where possession is usually a little something darker going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tonight, my little oddballs, we're stepping into one of the most well-documented possession cases in modern America.
Ooh.
A case with police reports, hospital records, and even a Catholic priest who swore he battled legions of demons.
Is this Enfield?
No.
Ooh, okay. It
didn't happen in some remote corner of the world. It happened in a regular rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. This is the story of LaToya Ammons, her children, and the house that became known as the Demon House.
Literally was just listening to a podcast that mentioned this house right before we recorded.
This actual one? Because I feel like there are a few that they dubbed the Demon House.
Yeah, it was Greg and Dana.
That's crazy. Oh, I saw that they've had a couple of new episodes. I haven't listened yet.
Those new episodes are phenomenal. They're doing a 4-part deep dive into different types of communication, like EVP, ITC, and all this stuff. And I've been gripped. They're like 2.5 hours long each. But they mention, well, like literally the part I was just listening to, he's like, I didn't know what I would do if I died in the house, and how long Dana would survive running around in Gary, Indiana, screaming.
Yeah, first off, Gary, Indiana, but
it's had some hardship.
No, it's super storming here.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I keep hearing stuff and I realize it's just really raining hard.
Just adds to the vibe.
So it does. So possession cases rarely happen all at once, right? They build and they escalate. And what starts as something small, a noise in the basement, a strange shadow, spirals into the dark until it consumes everything. That being said, I'm going to give you the timeline of all of these traumatic events.
Okay.
So I can give you kind of each timelines and we can kind of discuss it. Because there really isn't like a lot that, I mean, there's a lot that happens, but like, these cases, they almost sometimes happen in such a short amount of time that you're like, what the heck?
You're right.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm pretty ready.
As you go to take a drink, I ask you.
Like a good waitress. How's the food tasting?
Okay. So November 2011, which is crazy because this is not that long ago. So it's a more modern one, is the move-in. Okay. So LaToya, her 3 children, 12, 9, and 7, and her mother, Rosa Campbell, move into 3860 Carolina Street. Okay.
I'm with you.
Almost immediately, though, Rosa notices black flies swarming the screened-in porch in the dead of winter. So at this point, it's almost like...
Just like Ed Warren says it always starts.
It's like December, though. Okay. And so they're like, what the hell? It's a screened-in porch. And they just keep coming and coming and coming. And they swat them, they spray them, and they're always returning swarms of frickin' flies, which I have chills because... Have you ever witnessed swarms of flies? Because I haven't.
Oh.
I lived on a farm and I'm talking those types of swarms are different than like this type of swarm.
Oh, I have. One of my rental properties, the painters left the windows open and I hadn't gone in for days. And they also left their bag of fast food trash.
But like, how many are you talking?
Hundreds across 3 floors, swarming at the windows. It was horrifying.
That's disgusting.
It was really gross. The bag was crawling. Ugh. Okay, back to it.
Well, anyway, I just can't imagine your screened-in porch in the middle of winter just collectively always having flies. That's wild to me. You can imagine they're like, what is going on? They're probably like, why did we move here? So maybe it was your house.
No.
I was saying maybe it was his
God,
house.
no.
I'm just kidding. This is in Gary, Indiana. Okay, so December 2011, shadows and footsteps kind of start. So Rosa hears the heavy stomp of boots climbing from the basement, even though no one's there. So that's a quote of hers, like heavy stomps of boots climbing up the basement stairs.
Okay.
That's crazy though, because to me, my biggest fear. If I moved in November and I started hearing this in December, I would ultimately think somebody's living in the basement.
Yeah, you're gonna go Frogger. I know you.
Like, that is my biggest fear. Every time I go into my basement, I think somebody's living there.
I think I've just lived in a couple haunted places where you heard footsteps, where that one wouldn't bother me as much as the flies, honestly.
I don't know, but like you have to think of stomping boots though.
Yeah, okay.
That's crazy. Okay, so then she later claims, and this is a quote, "I woke up one night and saw my grandson being dragged across the floor. His arms were flailing, but there was nothing pulling him."
Okay, yep, that would be enough right there.
So now we have flies stomping steps up the stairs, and then
and I'm staying in a hotel.
Child being ripped down the hallway. Oh.
Now it depends though. If this was an annoying child, okay, I'd be okay with it.
I mean, they're like what? They're annoying. They're around that annoying age. Let's get real.
There's a fucking fruit fly in here that's driving me insane. Hey, Kara, have you ever wanted to take your spiritual practice to the next level?
Oh, absolutely. And if you're looking for something that feels truly magical and not mass produced, you have to check out My Mystical Forest.
My Mystical Forest is like stepping into your own enchanted sanctuary. They offer handmade spiritual tools crafted with care, intention, and so much heart.
We're talking tarot card holders that make your readings feel elevated, pendulum boards that bring clarity, and spirit boards to deepen your connection.
And don't forget the incense burners to set the perfect vibe, plus crystal trays to arrange and organize all your favorite stones. Everything is a labor of love made from hand-selected hardwoods.
Whether you're a seasoned spiritual practitioner or just starting your journey, My Mystical Forest has the tools to empower and inspire.
Unlock the magic for yourself and seek harmony. Visit mymysticalforest.etsy.com. That's M-I Mystical Forest, and find the heirloom quality pieces that speak to your soul.
Also, for our little oddballs, for limited time, enter code ODDBALL at checkout to receive 10% off plus a free pendulum, or simply use the link down in the show notes.
Goodbye.
There was a fruit fly in here last night when I was recording, and I kept swatting at it because it kept coming in my, like, close to my eyes. It's fucking pissed me off. Okay, now we go to March 2012.
Okay.
So this is where we get possession symptoms, and they intensify. So the 12-year-old daughter starts convulsing. So she's convulsing. Her body levitates briefly above the bed while she's unconscious. And the family members, they basically just start praying until she drops down. So they're just praying and praying and praying. Now, I will say I read a bunch of different reports, watched some videos, and all this stuff. Some say that like her cousin was over, or her friend having a sleepover.
Gotcha.
Do I hear crickets?
Yeah, but they're not in the room, so it's a loose one. I moved the big bin of them out. This one got free.
He sounded rogue. He sounded louder.
It's always the loud ones that escape.
I know. So basically, whether it was family members, whatever, whoever it was, they all collectively say she levitated above the bed a little bit, and they just prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed until she just dropped down.
Okay.
And she was unconscious, doesn't remember any of this. Can you imagine?
Like, imagine being the possessed or there? Because I don't want any part of it, honestly.
Well, first off, if you were the possessed one at this point, they didn't remember anyway. So.
Yeah, I guess they can't imagine it either.
I don't know. You might want to be that one, because I can't imagine seeing somebody levitate. First off, I'm running. Sorry. Are you staying?
You've never seen somebody levitate? Did you not grow up watching David Blaine?
No, I'm just serious. I'm like, if you were just like spent the night and I just walked into your room and you were levitating above your bed, I'm leaving.
It would be a little unsettling, yes.
I'm not helping you. I'm sorry. I'm leaving. Bye.
Wow.
Unless it was like practical magic, and or not practical magic. Oh my God.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. I know what you're...
yeah.
I can't think of what that is.
Oh my God. Why are we dumb?
It's okay. Go on. It'll come to you. Shout it out in 5 minutes.
We know. Okay. So anyway, so that happens. And then one son slips into like violent trances, and he's like, he growls and makes like unnatural voices. And I think you guys can all like, you can just hear in your head those voices, because I feel like every possession has the same like guttural growling, like nasty, scary voices. And the youngest is thrown from the bathroom by an unseen force. So this all happens in March. So we have one child convulsing and levitating, one that slips into violent trances of growling, and then the youngest is thrown from the bathroom.
That's a wild start to spring.
It's so crazy. All right. Now we're at April.
Okay.
Or in April 2012. And this is the hospital incident.
Wasn't the world supposed to end in May 2012? If I lived in that house with those people, I would have been... No, it was December 12th, 2012. There was a May one too. Or no, I'm thinking Mayan. Okay, never mind. Go on.
Well, I think the family probably did want the world to end because this was crazy.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so at Methodist Hospital in Gary, Valerie Washington, a DCS worker, witnessed the now infamous wall walk. Okay, so...
I don't like the sound of that.
No. Okay, so basically, crazy. One of the boys was brought because he had an episode at school where he passed out and he was unresponsive, which kind of alarmed staff and prompted medical attention. Okay. That's where the hospital visit comes. And then her official report states, and this is a quote, "The child walked up the wall, flipped over his grandmother, and landed on his feet. He never let go of her hand. He glided backward on the floor, wall, and ceiling." And nursing staff and the physician collaborated this event in their notes. So let me explain this to you.
How do you do that without twisting your arm?
Let me explain this to you. So if you and I are facing each other,
okay.
So what happened is they're in the hospital and he starts going spastic. He's doing this like growling, like these guttural noises.
Yeah.
And grandma is just like, this is normal because we deal with this all the damn time. So she basically goes up to him. Also, his eyes are rolling in the back of his head. And he's like, almost like him as a child is not there. He's like unconscious, right? So grandma goes up and was like, basically like the staff stated that she just like addressed this, like, this is so normal because they've been dealing with this now for months. So she goes up to him. So you and I are facing each other. He's going through this like panic, like, whatever. Uh-huh. She grabs his hands and she keeps saying like, I think I thought I put it in here, but it was like, this is not you. This is not you. And this is something that she would repeat a lot at home because it would
like trying to bring him back. Yeah. Trying to get to like his subconscious.
So, I have goosebumps. So she's holding his hands. And as she's like chanting this, he is now walking up the wall behind him. So his back is to the wall. So his feet are going up the wall. And everyone says she never let go of his hands. So he's going up to the point where he's to the ceiling and it's just his tiptoes are touching the ceiling. And he does. So how does arms don't bend and like break?
That was the first thing.
Or his shoulder sockets or whatever. I have no idea. But then he flips over and he like never comes out of it until like a while later.
I don't like that.
Right. So this is a social worker, the nursing staff, and a physician. They all collaborate on this. They all witnessed this happen. Now, I'm sure you guys can be like, or people, I know you're trying to get that now. People could be like, okay, well, maybe it was like she was pressing and it was like he was like walking up the wall and like holding her and she was like holding him. But do you know how hard that would be? I
mean, hard to physically hold on to somebody when you're doing that, but also like emotionally hard.
You could also, I think that if we tried this, we could probably get to the point where like you were like straight, like horizontal, but you couldn't keep going.
First of all, I would never get to the point where I would fall flat on my ass before I got 2 feet on the wall.
We should try this.
Oh my God, no. I don't want the bruises.
You hold me.
You just got out of the hospital.
I was just going to say I would have busted up teeth. I would go flat on the ground. Okay. So anyway.
Well, you got to be close to maxed out on your insurance deductible at this point. So we might as well try it this year.
Oh, I didn't even tell you. I have to now get an MRI before I can even go to specialty.
Oh my God.
I forgot to tell you that. Okay. Anyway. All right. So that's crazy that all those people witnessed this. So this is still in April 2012. The children are actually removed. So following the hospital events, the DCS removes the children from LaToya's custody.
Is this like the first time CPS gets involved in a possession? Because God knows they should more.
No, because remember you did Kennedy Ife? Mm-hmm. And didn't they take away or they didn't get involved? I can't remember.
They didn't because the family was so heavily connected into local politics and stuff. They hid it very well.
That's right. Okay. All right. So social worker Valerie Washington's notes in her file were during supervised visits, the children's eyes rolled back in their heads. They began to growl, their smiles evil. When they were asked how they felt, they said they did not remember their actions. And then other staff at the hospital reported like fainting, feeling pressed by unseen hands and sudden cold spots.
Okay.
So that's still like at the hospital.
Yeah.
The other thing that I forgot to tell you, like at the hospital, is that I think it was the physician was like, "Can you do that again?" Like after he snapped out of it, they're like, "Can you do that again?" And he's like, "Do what?"
Like I don't even know.
He had no idea. He just fucking climbed the ceiling. All right. So
parkour.
Oh God. So still in spring 2012, this is kind of like where we get a police investigation. Captain Charles Austin, Gary PD, responds, initially kind of skeptical, and he becomes convinced the case is real. So he responds to an event that was happening. They called the cops. There's so much, whatever happened at that time, They called the cops, okay?
One of the times they called the cops, yes.
One of the times. So Austin later says, I am a 36-year-old veteran of the police force, and I have never seen anything like this in my life. This was not a hoax. So officers document blinds dripping with an oily, sticky substance.
Ooh.
And they kind of explained it like a cooking oil mixed with soot.
Isn't that similar? Both of these things are very similar between the flies and that to what was happening at Amityville or in Amityville.
Well, they do say, I hate that saying, they do say, it is said that in possessions there is that like liquid that just are like oozes, and they would wipe it clean and it would just like return within minutes. Yeah. So public officials are called. They can't explain it. There's no leaks, no sewage issues, and like no hidden pipes. And it's crazy because they even thought that the family was like doing it themselves. Right. So at one point they all left, and when they're like, okay, they came back. They had wiped it all clean. They came back and it was back, but there was like, it wasn't coming from anywhere.
Yeah, just there.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. So Austin's police recorder malfunctions inside the home, and later playing back with static and unexplained whispers, which is wild. And police photos capture a dark figure in the window when the house was like confirmed empty.
Oh, I mean, not totally shocking with everything else going on, but still unsettling.
It's unsettling. So basically they get called, they take some shots of the house before entering or whatever. They come in, they have this leakage of the walls. They can't figure it out. They wipe it. They come back. Like, it's just like crazy. Like they get all these malfunctions. Like, it's just weird. So at one point, it's hard because I don't know if this is the same time. Yeah. It does say like I found one police report, but they do say that they've called multiple times. What I will say, and this is so sad, is that Rosa, the grandma, she even said in one of the videos that I watched, and it's heartbreaking, that she was telling LaToya, her daughter, like, we have to do whatever we can ourselves because people are going to think we're crazy and they're going to take the kids away from you. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened anyway. And it's so sad because, I mean, these kids would have like bruises and hand marks from being ripped down the hallway and things like that. And they're going to think that we are beating the kids.
I mean, from the state's point of view, it's a hard call, right? Like, if you don't take them and it turns out you believed in possession that wasn't. For sure. It's just so It's honestly
sad.
Shocking it doesn't happen in more cases of possession.
That actually is very true. All right. So in summer, we kind of went spring, summer 2012. This is crazy. So the police get called again. I'm not quite sure why on this time, but as they're like kind of going through, they go into the basement. Okay. And at this point, Father Michael Maginot, he is helping the family.
Okay.
So they call him and they're like, they need help. And he comes in and he's whatever. So it is discovered that in the basement under the stairs. So think of like a dingy, they're renting this house. So this basement is not done. It's just dingy and gross.
It's just an unfinished Midwestern basement.
Yes. So under the stairs, it's so creepy. They start digging.
Okay.
And they do this because he believes that everything's coming from the basement. And obviously, like from the beginning,
Like that's where the boots were coming from, and
the boots were coming through and like something's in the basement.
Right.
It just doesn't feel right. So they think it's from under the steps, or he does. I'm not quite sure why he thought that. So this is so fucking unsettling. And to me, I still would be like, somebody's living in my house. So they uncover a press-on nail, like a fake nail, hair clippings, underwear, and a broken object wrapped in a cloth.
Can you elaborate on the broken object at all?
It's just something broken.
Okay.
So Austin, the police officer, recalls it looked like the remnants of a ritual, like someone planted the house long before they moved in.
Oh, I don't like that.
They're like, these belongings are from the family. So something is leaving the basement, going upstairs, taking these like things, bringing them back downstairs and buried them. Oh. The craziest part is that they dug and dug and dug and dug. This wasn't just like a little,
it's like
it's just surface level. They dug, which is so fucking scary to me.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, so then we get to like the summer, fall of 2012. This is kind of where we get our exorcisms. Father Maginot performs blessings and eventually 3 full exorcisms on LaToya. And he writes, during prayer, the blinds dripped again. Rosa complained of unseen hands pressing on her chest. I heard growls coming from rooms where no one stood. Just so crazy.
I wouldn't even want to be the priest who has to deal with that. Like, not today.
No. 2 of the exorcisms were in Latin, 1 in English. And Maginot later said that he believed like LaToya was freed from.
Okay.
In 2013, the family escapes, if you will. So LaToya and Rosa permanently moved out. And after nearly 6 months, the children are returned to...
How do you last 6 months?
No. 6 months without the kids.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you last more than 6 months in this place before you move out?
They did. They moved in 2011. Yeah. So after nearly 6 months, the children are returned to LaToya's custody.
God. Okay.
And DCS closes the case. So I did watch videos, though, and it did say that they were already moved out when they did the investigation and they went under the stairs and found all that stuff. And that LaToya would not go back in the house, but Rosa did go in the house, and they had more dripping of the blood of the substance on the wall. And that's kind of when they're like, Rosa, did you do that? And like the police officer asked her, and she's like, no, I did not do that. They made everybody get out of the house. They went back in the house after they cleaned it, and it was there again, like in the exact same spot.
They
like
proved
no
there's no human interaction.
Yeah. So like that's why this officer is like,
is there pictures?
There is pictures of the staircase, and it's very creepy from the basement. And there is a picture of the police officers that saw the shadow figure in the house when no one was, like whether they took. There is a lot more like details like involving this, like as far as like in the basement, they did like set up kind of like candles and stuff like that because they were trying to like do like positive rituals because they just felt like the basement was dark. And the officers didn't like that. And that's kind of like why the kids got taken away. Because they're like, there's so much weird shit going on. Yeah, exactly. So there is more like that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
But that's kind of like where this ends. So these kids were tormented. LaToya was tormented. Like the family was tormented. The kids got taken away. And it's like so scary. And it's so sad because it's like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And like, you could really think that it's just like a mental illness, right? Like you could say that maybe LaToya was not mentally stable. And so she was feeding all these stories to the kids because that's what a lot of like the hospital and things they thought.
Yeah.
Like,
but until you're like literally doing parkour and shit in the hospital.
I was just going to say, so they were like, okay, she's making them like act this all out and stuff like that. But I'm sorry. All those people witnessed him climbing up the damn wall.
So
no.
When they moved out of the house, did everything stop?
Yeah.
It's perfect. Weird because usually like at least in the handful of possession cases I know well is that it starts in the house until it attaches to a person. And then once it's attached to the person, right? That it doesn't matter if they move or not, it still kind of follows them.
Well, remember they did do 3 exorcisms.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Okay.
believed that everything was good.
Okay.
And the kids had already been on at the house for a long time. So he did the exorcisms on LaToya.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
So, yes. Okay. So here's going to be your favorite part.
Oh, God.
2014.
Somebody new moves
Zak
in?
Bagan purchases the house.
Of course.
So this is where a lot of people know of the Demon House, is because there is a movie on it. I didn't watch it, but there is, this is like how the Demon House became like popularized. So paranormal investigator Zak Bagan buys the property sight unseen for $35,000.
It's a lot cheaper than the shit he's buying these days.
Okay. He says the sheer amount of official documentation makes this the most credible possession case in America. And I will back him up on that, because if you look at the police report, it's wild. And I read the police report. It's hard because it's like...
At least it's one of the first times where he's saying it's the most credible thing ever, that he has evidence to back it up. That man is purely for entertainment. Sorry.
So he buys it. Like I said, sight unseen, which makes sense to him because he has so much money and he also, like, whatever, like, it's a demon house. Let me take it. But he's right. It has so much documentation. It has police reports. It has hospital reports. It has all of these witnesses of these wild events. So it makes sense. 2014, 2015, the Demon House filming starts. My goodness.
Gotcha.
So Bagan films the Demon House.
Easy for you to say.
Bagan films the Demon House. Crew members quit mid-shoot, citing illness, fear. They're like, I'm out of this shit. I'm not doing it. One investigator actually develops organ problems after filming.
Oh, this is like Poltergeist level shit.
Yeah.
The movie.
And Bagan's claims he suffers permanent eye damage from an encounter in the home.
That's why he has to wear such big sunglasses.
I feel like, though, this clip went viral for so long of him in my eyes. Like, it's like...
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I can't...
He's just
sorry, it's not
the
funny.
world's biggest douchebag. And this is coming from me right now, who's wearing sunglasses inside at night, okay?
Oh, after I wore this costume for this episode, I was like, this might be insensitive because I'm a demon and we're talking about a demonic possession.
Well, mean, listen, this outfit is not super far off from Zak Bagan, so we're just embodying the episode. The sweater would need to be a little more like, is it Ed Hardy? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sweater weather.
It is not, though. I'm schwitzing in here.
All right. Well, in 2016, we have the demolition. And Bagan demolishes the house, declaring it too dangerous to exist. That tells you something.
I think if anything has given this credibility, it's the fact that Zak Bagan is destroying it and not monetizing it.
So he did preserve soil and fragments of the foundation in the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, but he did demolish it because he said that it just should not exist.
It's the first time he's helped me believe in something.
I agree. I really honestly agree. Listen, we talk a lot of shit about Zak on here. We do. And I'm not taking back the shit talk, because even if I met him, I would give him shit. I really would. But we do know that it's all for entertainment.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that the things that he experiences are fake. I just think he's a drama queen.
I would honestly, I would have a lot less hatred for him if he wasn't knocking other people down to get to where he was. You can do all the entertainment. You can blow things up. You can make, paranormal more popular for sure. Don't do it by canceling everybody else.
No. But anyway, that's it. That is the Gary, Indiana Demon House.
I like it. Short, sweet, to the point, and fucking terrifying.
Like I said, we kind of know that these possessions usually are just like short and sweet.
Yeah.
Short and traumatic.
Yeah. At least some of them are short. Some of them have gone on too long.
So, I got nothing else for you other than how weird.
I'm sure the answer is no, but did you come across anywhere in the research of like people who maybe lived in the house before?
No, I didn't see anything about that. And that's what it's weird. So they did rent this house. They were renting it. And I do know that I can't remember what the, I was say realtor. What is
Landlord?
Landlord. I can't remember his name, but he did say that like they they kind of told him about it or asked, and like he visited, and I know he said he's never heard anything, or like I think he did experience something that when he came and visited with them though.
Yeah, but maybe not stay long enough to.
Yeah. But what was I just gonna say? I glitched. No, anyway, so the family like had never experienced anything like this prior, and I didn't see anything about the house before, and then obviously Zak bought it and then demolished it. So no one's lived there after,
Right.
because obviously I would give you some like Reddit stories or something if I had them, but there ain't none. So I don't know. But I kind of do want to watch the Demon House that he did, the recording of it.
I guess it'd be worth it.
I probably should. I would have watched it before, but I didn't. Mr. Ballin did a really good, just like, he does like quick videos. He did a really good one on this.
His videos are amazing. Honestly, I have used him for so much research. I watched him for years before we started this.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's not one person who listens to our show who hasn't watched a Mr. Ballin video. But if you somehow haven't,
he is like beautiful.
he is rather
and he
easy on the
also
eyes.
has a great voice.
It's like,
and he's
if you took the perfect NPR voice and the perfect slightly creepy voice and mashed them together.
He just does a really good job.
Yeah.
His videos are great. Like he just does a very, very good job. But anyway, I watched one of his videos on this, and it was like obviously very informative because that's what he does. But I also watched interviews of LaToya and her mother Rosa, and like it's just terrifying because, like I was saying, like they're terrified that they're going to get the kids taken away.
Right.
They don't know where to turn to.
And so once they moved out, never again.
Yeah.
Well, good for them.
And they got the kids back, and the kids are fine. I know, it's just like we said, it's a short one. I don't want to say short and sweet. That's terrible. But it's a short one.
Short
but
and
it's
traumatic.
like it's terrifying.
No, good job, dude.
Yeah, short and traumatic. It's terrifying. And I figured that would, get the spooky season going. Did you get it?
No.
That gnat?
No. I have 2 gnats in here that are driving me crazy. Kara's been watching me try to smack them this whole episode.
I didn't realize there was 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, I realized it about halfway through when I saw both of them going. All right. I got to kill some bugs.
That's all I got for you. These horns are hurting my head.
That's it. We got to get out of these costumes. I am sweating through layers. Because, even though nobody can see it, I had to have the long white shirt on underneath. And actually, it is a David quote.
Oh, that's even funnier.
It says, I plan on popping a pill, crying a bit, and falling asleep early. Just a regular Wednesday. Or just a regular weeknight.
I was going to say, it's Wednesday.
I was trying to read it and pull it out at the same time. Okay, so anyways, if you have any possession stories, share them with us. Or
I pray that you don't.
I pray that you don't. Secondhand works too. What emoji should they be picking for this episode?
The devil.
The devil. It works. All right. So from your curators, David and Satan this week, you got to watch some clips of us online, at least the TikToks, to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, my wings are they're kind of like curvy. Okay. Anyway, also with your emoji of the devil, I want to know what you're being for Halloween.
Yeah.
And if you're dressing up. And can you guess what Zak and I are being for Halloween? Zak has no idea what I'm being for Halloween.
I did tell Kara what I'm being, but it's still going to be fun. Okay. Yes. Hit us with your guess.
That's what I want.
Should we give him a hint? Next week?
No, because I don't want you to know what I'm
Okay,
being.
fair. All right. What else do they need to do? Let's wrap it up.
Well, thanks for being here. I hope this wasn't too scary for you. I hope you guys don't get possessed. I hope we don't get possessed. And the most important thing you can do for us is to creep a reel, you little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.